Okay, we're going to talk now about your advising handout, and they're different for every major, okay? It's really important that you work with people in this room to have kind of a buddy system in case you have any questions, okay? I've already said about your academic advisor should be the first one listed in degree works, and the second advisor should be your department chair. Okay, academic advisors do not only advise folks, because all of us are academic advisors on the faculty. We teach at least 12 hours a semester. We have 10 hours a week for office hours. And if you need to schedule an appointment with your advisor, email that person and say, I need a meeting, my office hours are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I need to see you Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And they'll get back with you. On your schedule, this can be really confusing because it was confusing the first time I saw it. On your class schedule, it's going to have whoever's teaching the course should be the first person you see on your schedule. Probably the next person is going to be the anchor of that course. And then if it's in the collaborative program, my name is probably going to be the third name. So you may have 3 or 4 names wondering who's my instructor. It should be the first name that's listed on your schedule. So does anybody have any questions about that? We're far enough into this semester that that's probably not an issue. Okay, most full-time faculty have their doctorates in education, and you need to address them as Dr., if you're emailing me, Dr. Ferguson. If you're emailing an anchor of the course, I'll use Dr. Gordon as an example, Dr. Gordon. I always tell my classes this, and I know I have some of you in class this semester, but your email communication might be your first communication to us, and it reflects your professional writing ability. I received 2 emails this week that the pronoun I was never capitalized, the grammar was inappropriate, there was no punctuation. What message, folks, does that send to me about that person's writing? It's not a good impression. So before you push send on that email, make sure that it reflects professional writing. Okay, on your advising handouts that you picked up this morning, under each semester, we've listed the courses that you need to take during that semester, or that we recommend that you take. Only you know if that's a reasonable number of hours for you to take. We undoubtedly, and I'm sure this happened to Dr. Gordon, because it's happened to me, not a lot, but occasionally. Oh, Dr. Ferguson, I want to take 7 online courses. I have a full-time family. I work full-time. Don't do it to yourselves, folks. It's better to go slowly and have really, really good grades than to what I'll call muddle through a course with a C that you might have to take again. Okay? The course sequences, where it says follow the plan in terms of when courses are taken. Okay, so you can use your advising handout as a checklist. Most courses, not all, most courses are offered totally online, blended, or face-to-face, or various combinations thereof. Dr. Gordon went over, and this should be on your handout, advising handout also, at the bottom, how many field experience days are required each semester. Look at your advising handout and see if you see it for first semester. If you're taking ED302, what should it say? How many days? 3. And Dr. Gordon's already gone over that field experience now is linked to a course, and you must complete those 22 days before internship. You will not be cleared for internship until you have those 22 days. Okay, communicate with instructors or advisors when you experience difficulty. Hopefully this won't happen. But our withdrawal date each semester is very late in the semester. It's usually the week before exams. So it's like 14 weeks into the semester. If you know that you're not going to pass a course the week before exams start, then you need to formally withdraw from that course. Because that F or that D is not going to go away. And that will figure in your overall GPA. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, for this slide, we know, because we hear from principals and we hear from superintendents, and I don't know if anybody said that this morning, but principals want our graduates. They'll frequently call one of us and say, I know I'm going to have, I'll talk special ed because I'm in special ed. I'm going to have a special ed vacancy, let's say in the spring. Do you have anybody graduating this fall? I haven't had those calls yet this semester, but I'll get them before the semester's over. Elementary folks, you're at a slight disadvantage because we've had principals tell us that for a vacancy at an elementary school, there are 400 applicants. So the purpose of this slide is for you to consider a minor that's going to make you stand out among those 400 applicants. So look into, regardless of what your major is, look into those minors. The English, the ELL minor, English as a second language, those folks are in high demand right now. Okay, outstanding work, every assignment is a potential artifact, your portfolio. Portfolios can become your an interview tool. Positive attitudes are very, very important. We don't want to get a call during field experience, and I know nobody in here would do this, that an Athens State student came to this school and just sat in the back during field experience and had their cell phone on. We get those calls almost every semester. You don't need to be that person. Because if the principal asks you to leave that school, principals talk. Especially principals in the same geographical location. So again, you want to stand out for positive reading, for positive reasons. Email, again, communications are very important. Allow faculty or instructors 48 hours to respond to your email. Use your Athens State University email address. It's highly probable that if you use your own personal email, you're not going to get a response to that email. Okay, we've already talked again about field experience and internship. We want you to be helpful, whatever, especially during field experience. Whatever that teacher asks you to do, you need to do it. We don't want you to be intrusive. We want you to be positive. Watch what you say at the school. Because again, people talk. Whether you have a good experience or a not so good experience, you don't need to talk about that in public. Because you may want a job in that school system someday. So keep those thoughts to yourself. And again, be the pre-service teacher or intern that the principal wants to hire. It's amazing, I don't have statistics, but if you're interning at a specific school and that principal has an opening in your, whatever your field is, there's a really high probability that you might at least get an interview. You want to be at the top of that interview list. Okay, so what are some common roadblocks? I've talked about some of these already. Most of you can take courses, if you look at your advising handout. Most of you can take courses at least the first semester and second semester without being formally admitted to the teacher ed program. The teacher ed program courses on those advising handouts are underlined and they're in bold print. For most of you, that's going to be at least semester 3. Okay, I mentioned earlier, you must complete all of your general education courses before you can be formally admitted. You must have a passing score on the AECTP Basic Skills Test, which is reading, writing, and math. That's why we recommend, if at all possible, that you take that Basic Skills Test this semester. And then I've mentioned GPA, that now you have to have a 2.75 overall in your professional studies courses and in your teaching field. You need to monitor that each semester, because in that section of your degree works it's going to tell you what your GPA is for each of those areas. Same thing for internship. If you don't have a 2.75 in all 3 areas, overall, professional studies, teaching field, you're not going to be eligible to complete your internship. You'll have to go back and retake some courses. And we don't want you to put yourself in that position. And all for internship, all of the praxis tests, and those vary greatly by major, must be passed. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, what are some useful tips for you? Dr. Gordon showed you several ways to get into and they've just revised our COE website, so we're learning as you are about where things are. But go to the COE website and just navigate. Okay, in Blackboard, you'll have an area called organizations. There's one of the organizations is Department of Ed. This is going to have all of your praxis information. What's required for your major, what's the passing score. We typically have study materials for the praxis under that section. Dr. Gordon, can you think of anything else that's under preparing for the praxis? We usually have some kind of study session once a semester. I'm sorry. Right. Right. Okay. The AECTP that we talked about before, the basic skills test and the praxis test are not offered every month. So you'll need to go on our website and look to see when they're offered. And there'll be a link that will link you to, for the praxis, to the ETS website. And you will get, like she said, a lot of emails about when those tests are given. Okay, we've talked briefly about this, about your academic advisors. Again, all the faculty are advisors, and we teach courses. So it's not like what you may have had at a community college. We're not available upon demand. But, like I said, we're here at least 10 hours a week. It's not your advisor's responsibility to create your schedule. That's your responsibility. I don't have my advisees ask me that very often. Certainly I will sit down and help you decide what you want to take next semester. But I'm not going to go in there and register for you. Okay? Okay, we are there to advise, to provide suggestions for minors, because we have a number of minors, and to answer any questions you might have.